The next story happened last week. We were about ready to leave, and we were already late for timeout. And we were coming back, and this lady all of a sudden appeared, and this guy said, "You need to pray for her." And I looked at her, and she was a 90-pound African-American lady, and she had all the telltale signs of a crack addiction. But she was old, and like for some reason, I automatically associated her with my grandmother. I don't know why, but she just seemed like a grandmother to me. So here I am with this lady, and I look at her and I go, "What's your name?" And she says, "Tina." I go, "That's my mama's name." And she just broke down on me. And I started praying for her, and she was just bawling, absolutely bawling. And then when it ended, I was allowed to talk to her, and I asked, "What can I do for you?" And she's like, "I need to call my daughter. I went off the streets right now." And I had a phone, and so I'm like, "Here, talk to her." She talked to her for about 10 minutes, saying, "I'm sick, I'm tired, I just went off." And her daughter says, "Yeah, I'll pick you up tomorrow at 3. And I don't know really what that means, but in an ideal world, I wanted to stay there with her. I wanted to stay there with her for that entire night. But I couldn't, because I had to get back for timeout, and I had to leave. And it's ridiculous, and that's exactly where the tension starts, guys. I feel, honestly, if I'm uncomfortable, that's right. That's the way it should be. And I was uncomfortable in that moment, and I wanted to stay with her the whole night until she got into her daughter's car, because there's no other real reason, like, for us to be here as Christians than to show our love in that way. And so that's where it starts, this whole dichotomy of this wealth and comfort of this life versus life on the streets. But I'm sure you guys feel it too, in so many ways, like going back to family's home. It's a different life, it's a different world, or situations you try to bury with this Longmore bubble. It's really hard, and I honestly do struggle with it. I mean, that's what I'm up here admitting tonight. But it's something I want to work through, and I feel that it's worth working through because of friends and because of professors that I've met here. People that take you under their wing and friends that take you through times, it makes it absolutely worth it. And yeah, I don't know any other way to really get through it other than by leaning on friends. And I really hope everybody has that. And if not, I mean, try to find somebody. But what I'm really asking you to do is work through and work through this honestly with yourselves, and see what these times in your life are like. Where do you find this dichotomy between this place and the rest of the world, or even the real world? And I'm asking you to break through this Longmore bubble for yourself to feel the discomfort of the gospel while taking in as much wisdom from friends, teachers, books as possible while at Point Loma. And honestly, I have no clue where I am on time, but that's really like the gist of what I'm trying to say. I don't really have anything else, but my friend Cree Brewer, she has a request to ask of you guys really quick, and just prayer. Thanks, guys.
So, sticking with the streets theme, there's a man who's 53 years old, and he's on the streets. He's got pneumonia, and he has really bad circulation in his legs due to smoking since beginning of time. And his name is Randy Erickson. He has a house, he has a family, a huge family of 9 kids, and he lives in the Philippines. Right now, he has a job, and he's working as best as he can to put all of his money to his house in the Philippines. And he's sick and tired of being on the streets, as most people are down there. And there was a shelter for people to go to, but during the winter, but it closed down because winter's gone. So he doesn't have a sleeping bag, and he doesn't have a backpack. And I've been asking people for a couple weeks now, before the shelter closed down, if anyone has an extra backpack or an extra sleeping bag, and I can't find one anywhere. And so tomorrow I'm going to go to Goodwill, and I'm going to buy him these things that he needs. And so I have no money. I don't even have enough money to do the $2 challenge. So I'm asking you, please at least just give me $1. And I'm also trying to get money because I want him to go back home to the Philippines. He needs $150 to buy a cap and gown for his daughter who's graduating college. He needs money for medical bills so he can get through this ammonia, and he needs money to go back home. And he has a job, but it's hard to work because of his medical conditions. So I'm asking you, please, at least just $1 because anything helps. Thank you.